What is up, guys? It's your boy obbldude, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how you can play Entropia Universe for free. That's right, without depositing any money at all. And we're going to start at the beginning, and this whole process of making money without depositing is going to end up progressing a little bit, so make sure you stick through the whole entire video so that you can kind of see the whole entire process. So first thing you want to do is go to your tools section and grab your VSE MK1, which is your sweating tool. So yeah, you grab that sweat tool, equip it. Oh, I'm going the wrong way, my bad. Gotta go up here. So once you grab and equip that sweating tool that everyone gets for free, you come over here and you find a mob, and then you sweat that mob. And that's what we're going to do right now. So once you find a mob, you're going to target it with F, and then you're just going to let it go. It's going to go automatically, and you just try and get some sweat out of it, you know. And then you pretty much sweat, and you build up some sweat. And once you have about, you know, I'd say 12,000 sweat maybe in total, because once you sweat, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to sell your sweat to other players. And I'm here at Camp Icarus. I don't know if people start here or if they start at Port Atlantis. I'm not sure, but Camp Icarus is like right here on the bottom part of the map. You want to be in this area, and the main reason for that is because you see all these green dots on my radar down here. Those are all players, and you're going to want to sell your sweat that you get to other players. Now, you collect the sweat, and sweat goes right now, from what I've been seeing just in the chat and stuff, sweat's pretty much going for 1,200 sweat is worth about 1 ped. So you're basically going to want to like stack up to like 12,000 sweat, because you're going to want to build up your ped card a little bit, like where your ped is right at the bottom here, at the very bottom where your ped is, you want to have at least 10 ped there. So you're basically going to keep sweating and selling 1,200 sweat to people for 1 ped each, and then get up to 10 ped, and then you're going to be able to do the next part that you're going to need to do. So basically, sweat, sell it to other players, and when you sell to other players, you can go down to your local here in the chat right down here, and you just click trade, and then you can type that you're selling something, and you can be like, you know, selling 1.2k of sweat for 1 ped, and then you just hit enter, and then you're good to go, and this creature has no more sweat. So, and then you just sell your sweat that way in the chat, and then people will come up and private message you and stuff and say that they're interested, and maybe ask how much you got, and, you know, basically sell enough sweat to players until you have 10 ped down here below your health in your ped card. Once you have 10 ped in your ped card, then make sure you have, I'd say, at least 1,000 sweat left over after selling it. So once you get to 10 ped, if you have no more sweat, go back out, sweat like to 1,000, and then do this next part right here. So now you sweat, and you've traded to other players and got some ped, and now you have 10 ped. Now what you want to do is go over to the auction. And the auctioneer is right up these stairs at Camp Icarus. And then you go to this guy, Mr. Auctioneer. So now you have 10 ped and you got 1,000 sweat. Now what you want to do is you want to type in Force Nexus, and you basically want to buy as close to 10 ped of this as you want. What I do is I'll go to the buyout, I'll click this arrow and it'll go up, and then I'll click it one more time and it'll go down, and it'll sort everything by the lowest buyout. And as you notice, the more ped, the lower the percentage, which is pretty good. So But the way you want to kind of figure out what Force Nexus thing you want to buy is this. So if you go to the auction and type in Mind Essence, because that's what we're going to be making. Oop, I spelled essence wrong, so I'm just going to do ESS, and then it should pop up. Yep. Okay. So type in Mind ESS into the auction and go to View Information, and you'll see it's 5 PED TT value. And then you click this like little like line that's going like up, down, and then up again. That's going to be where your market value is, and this is what it's selling on the auction for. So on the day and on the week, and pretty much all around the board, it's selling for 20% markup. So if you have 5 PEDs of Mind Essence, you want to sell this for like, let's see, 10% of 5. So it'd be like an extra PED. So you could sell this for like 6 PED. This person's trying to sell it for 7 PED, and the opening bid is 6 PED, which is almost a 20%. But so when you're buying the Force Nexus, you want to keep in mind that you're going to be trying to sell this for the Mind Essence for a 20% markup, and the amount of PEDs in Mind Essence you end up getting TT wise is going to be basically 100 for every PED. So, and when you craft it, however much you end up buying of the Force Nexus, it's basically going to, so for example, this Force Nexus, the TT value is 3.33 PED. So if you have at least, 333 sweat, and this is all you have for Force Nexus, then you're going to end up getting 3 PED, 0.33, like 3.33 PED is what you're going to end up getting in Mind Essence. So when you type in Force Nexus, go to the buyout, up ticket, then down again, and it'll sort it from the lowest to the highest percentage. And like I said, the more PED you spend, the lower that percentage is. So when you buy Force Nexus, you want to make sure this buyout percentage is as like less than 20%, but as low as you possibly can get it for, because that's going to be your profit. So like for example, if you had 100 PED and you bought this, you can make easily 15% of 100, which would be about 15 PED in profit. But since we're only working with like 5, maybe 10 PED, we're gonna look at the lower amounts. So let's go back to the first page and find something. So this one's 12 PED, and if you open it up, it's 13 PED. And if you look here, the markup for the buyout is 8%, and so is the opening bid. So this would probably, like in my situation, since I have 14 PED in my PED card, I could buy this and it would be 8%, and then I could make like a 12% profit off that. But we'll see if there's anything a little bit closer to 10, maybe 5. Like for example, this is 17%. It's like 6 PED in TT value, and they're selling it for like 7 PED. So you're only going to make like a 2-3% profit. And after the auction fee, because if you go to sell the Force Nexus, the Mind Essence, there's going to be like at least a 50 PEC fee that goes along with it. So that 2-3% will be eaten up by that auction fee, and you'll just break even. So you want to keep these percentages in mind when you're buying. So I recommend saving up at least 10 PED, just selling Vibrant Sweat to other players like I showed you before, and try to get at least 10 PED, because then you can see this one is 10 PED. We're selling it for 11, and that's at 10% markup. So I can sell basically 10 PED of Mind Essence, so I can make a 10% profit. So basically I'd be able to sell it for about 12 PED, make 1 PED profit, and then that's kind of how you do it. And then you rinse and repeat that process. So I'm going to buy this Force Nexus so that I can make the Mind Essence, okay? So this is 11. You know, if you run into this kind of issue, you can try to at least, you know, get maybe 11 or 12 ped from selling, you know, sweat. But then once you have enough, and then you start doing it this way, then you can just sell in the auction and still, you know, make a profit. Except after the auction fee, my profit's probably only going to be like 50 pec instead of 1 ped because of that auction fee. But you know, we'll see. We'll see. I'm gonna just buy 11 ped, 10% of Force Nexus. So you might want like maybe 11 or 10 ped to do this, but you're gonna need at least like 10 ped worth to make any kind of profit doing this. So 5 ped's not gonna cut it. You're gonna need at least 10 ped to do this like successfully and make a little bit of money. But we'll do this, we'll get this out, and then we'll see what we can ink out. But so we'll just buy this 11, and it's 1,000 exactly of force. So, because that's good, because I have another thing, and then you know any of that force left over is gonna essentially be my profit. So this is the one we just bought. I had this one, so using this one would make more sense than this one, but I wanted to kind of show you guys that, you know, like how much it was and stuff. So once you have your Force Nexus and Sweat, you then come to the store. You then go to the storage. Okay. No. After you have Force Nexus, you do that and you get the Force Nexus and you get your Sweat. You're gonna go to the trade terminal. And you're going to go to tools and you're going to buy your basic refiner, which is it not under tools? Is it under mining? Okay, it's under mining. So you're going to go under mining and you're going to go to your basic refiner. I'm not going to buy one, but so it's 2 ped for this. You're going to need the refiner, so you might want to get a couple extra ped sweating and selling that to other players because yeah, you're going to want to do that. So you're probably going to want maybe 14-ish, 15 ped now. I kind of forgot about the refiner and that you got to buy it. But once you buy a refiner, it's going to last you a while. So, I mean, if you can afford that 2 ped to do that, you know, because you're going to need it to get your mind essence. But I already have a refiner I like to use, so I'm not going to buy that one. So you're just going to equip your refiner. Okay. Alright, so I don't know really how it works with cursor mode now. I tried like everything I usually do for cursor mode to try to pop this up. But if you're not in cursor, if you're in cursor mode, just hit left control and it'll bring you to like, you know, where you just move your mouse and it moves you around. And then if you just left click, it'll bring up your refiner. So just do it that way, because with this new update, I usually either would just left click and use right tool or double click this, but right clicking wasn't working for me and double clicking this wasn't working, so I was having trouble. Once that pops up, you got to put in the Force Nexus first. That's very important. I can't stress that enough. And it'll say please add more material to the input window, so then that's when you go here, grab your sweat, stick it in there, refine and make your mind essence. And if you have any extra Force Nexus like I did, it'll just come back to you, and then I'll just combine it with that. And now I can get like 1,000 more sweat, and then make some more, and then sell it on auction. So when you have some mind essence, because right now we have, let's see, we have view information, 9 ped of mind essence. And we spent 11 ped, so that's going to hurt a little bit, definitely. But you click here to the market value, it's like 20%. So 20% of 9 is almost 2 ped. So we could get away with selling it for 11 ped and just breaking even. One way that it's really intended to make money from this way is you got to save up your mind essence. And the only reason I'm at 9 right now is because I didn't finish off the rest of the Force Nexus, because I didn't have enough sweat. But if I was able to, I would be at like 11 ped. It's kind of a poor example in this video that I'm kind of showing with you guys, because I didn't have enough sweat, but it's literally only one ped, I mean one force nexus and one sweat make 100 mind essence. So, that's why I have like 91,000 mind essence right now, because you can make a lot. And it's nice because this way, this is kind of how you sell sweat on the auction house, but you need those initial funds to buy the force nexus in the first place. So you need to sell your sweat at first to other players, get up to like 15 ped, get the refiner, spend like 10 ped on force nexus, get enough sweat to get rid of all the force nexus and turn it to mind essence. Once you have enough mind essence and you want to sell, and you're going to make some kind of a profit because you looked at those percentages in auction from the force nexus and you bought for less than 20%, which is good, and then now it's time to make that profit. You're going to go to sell. It's going to bring up your stuff, and then you're going to go here, place it in there, and then you're going to go to 7 days for auction days. Okay, it's going to tell you the item value, TT value, and then it's going to say what kind of percentage you're at right now, because it defaults it to like a sell rate because it's 9 ped. So since you can only sell by 1 ped, it just rounds it up to 10 for you. But this is only 9%, and if you look here, if you right click and do market value, on the day it's 21%, and the week it's 19%, so we want to aim for like 20% to make our profit. So we're going to keep going up here, and as we click this up, you're going to see this changes. So 12 ped would be too much, so we'd have to sell this, but we could sell this at 11 ped, and we still had a little bit of force nexus left over to then make more mind essence with. So we're going to end up profiting overall anyway, even though it doesn't seem like it. We're breaking even at the moment if I was just going to sell it as is now, but because of that little bit of leftover force nexus, it was like almost 100. That's going to basically be my profit when I go to sell that, plus the other force nexus I already had anyway. And then what I recommend doing is doing the buyout option, and what I usually do is I just set the opening bid and the buyout as the same. That way I don't really mess with auction stuff. That way, it's more likely to sell a little bit faster doing it this way. But if you wanted to, you could set the opening bid to like 10, but then, you're going to be losing a little bit less. So I personally just like doing it this way. And then I'm not going to sell it now because I'm going to wait, stack up a little more mind essence, and then I accept, and then boom. That is, and then, oh, and one more thing, keep in mind of this auction fee too, because the higher this opening bid goes, the higher the auction fee is. The buyout doesn't matter. It doesn't change this auction fee, just a little food for thought. So if you wanted to save on the auction fee and you can make like a decent profit, like, going down 1 ped, for example, you could do that and decrease the auction fee a little bit, which is kind of nice. But the minimum's 50 pec. 50 pec for the auction fee. So that's how I would set it up right here. 11/11, 7 days, buyout. And I do this every time. Like for no matter what I'm selling, I set it up pretty much this way. I just make sure I look at those percentages and boom, good to go, and hope it sells. Because if it doesn't, then I'm going to start losing some money. But I'm not selling that right now. The best way to go about this though, if you can, like, start off with that initial 15 ped-ish of just sweating, selling your sweat to players. Get like 10 to 15 ped. I recommend probably more like 14 or 15, but 10 to 15 ped just from selling sweat to players. And then take that ped and buy Force Nexus, get the refiner, get Force Nexus, look at those percentages. If you're going to buy out, look at those buyout percentages and make sure it's under 20% and you can make a decent profit. Buy it, refine it, make the mind essence, sell the mind essence at the markup, boom, you're making money. You'll be able to make money quicker that way because to get the mind essence you don't need as much sweat, and you're going to end up making more money in less time doing it this way. And then you can save up to like, sell enough mind essence and save up to maybe 25, 30 ped, and then buy your first gun, buy some ammo, maybe get a little bit of armor if you can afford it or whatever, and then you can start hunting and doing other stuff, or start mining or something. So that's basically how you can play Entropia Universe for free without depositing any money and start making some money to then start hunting or mining. I don't recommend crafting because you're going to need a lot of money to craft, and it's really expensive, and you're not going to make that kind of money doing this. So this is ideal to go mainly to hunting for, but even mining too. But I would recommend switching to hunting once you have like maybe 30, 40 ped. Buy some ammo, buy a gun from the TT, and you're good to go. But that's how you do it, guys. I'm going to end the video. Drop a like. Let me know if there's anything I missed or I could have added. Let me know your thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.